your Storm Track 3 weather rate forecast.
Many of us woke up to fog covering the region this morning, but as we head into the afternoon, we're starting to see more mixing in our atmosphere, allowing that fog to subside. On visible satellite here at the beginning of the loop, you can see where all of that white was covering most of the state. That was the fog, and as it begins to mix out, clearing across portions of the region, especially out towards the west, while central Kansas still holding on to a little bit as we move into the afternoon. But skies have cleared completely in Dodge City. That beautiful deep blue, a very different view than we were seeing this time about 2 hours ago when we couldn't even see the trees in the distance as that fog was just so dense. Now in Wichita, starting to finally see some blue skies peeking in. Also, the visibility has improved so much that we can finally see the keeper of the plains once again. We'll continue to see improving conditions throughout the rest of the afternoon. That also means our temperatures will be climbing. Those areas that have seen the most fog this morning are still sitting at the coolest. That's why we're at 58 in Hays, 63 in Wichita, 61 in Hutch, compared to the 76 currently in Goodland, 82 over in Elkhart, and 63 up in Salina. We'll continue to climb this afternoon, back above average for this time of year. That's where we were yesterday, and that trend follows us into today. Toasty temperatures as we push into the mid-70s, then overnight falling back into the 40s for a starry and mild evening. Now Finn here is already snuggled up and ready to head off to bed, and as the sun sets earlier in the evenings, you might feel like doing the same. As sunset tonight, going to be closer to 5:30 p.m. But temperatures are going to be warm and feeling more summer-like than the fall. We're pushing into the 80s across areas closer to the Oklahoma-Kansas state line. Winds out of the south today helping lead the charge on that warming trend. 75 for our high in Wichita, 75 in Colby, 80 over in Garden City, and 75 in Salina. Overnight temperatures will cool once again. The 30s are expected off towards the northwest and north central Kansas, while we hold on to some of that warmth across the southern half of the state, as the 40s will carry us into the start of the day tomorrow. But once again, that fog is going to be an issue. Visibility will be clearing through the day tonight into tomorrow morning as we see light winds and plenty of moisture available in our atmosphere. Perfect conditions for that fog to be forming, covering most of the region once again. So as you head out to start your day, head off to work, especially if you leave before sunrise, make sure you have those brights on and you are taking your time, as conditions could be impacted with low visibility because of that fog. Temperatures will be retreating over the next few days as well. A boundary arrives tomorrow. We do reach the 70s here in Wichita, but the 50s take over as we look towards the weekend, into the 60s by the beginning of next week. And as that boundary moves into the Sunflower State, we're going to be seeing our wind direction change. Strong winds out of the north pulling in that chill and might squeeze out a few sprinkles off towards the northwest and then down into central Kansas by the time we look towards early Thursday morning. But for most part, this boundary only bringing that temperature change to the region. We go from 75 today to 58 on Friday, increasing cloud cover as that boundary moves through on Thursday. Overnight lows will be back into the 30s as we move into the weekend. North central Kansas, 75 today with clearing skies. Temperatures back to the 50s on Thursday behind that boundary. Overnight lows into the 20s. Clear skies on Friday before more cloud cover arrives for the weekend. Southwest Kansas will be around 80 degrees today, falling to the 60s on Wednesday, and eventually the 50s on Thursday as that cold front brings in the chill. Overnight lows into the 20s and 30s by the time we reach the weekend. Northwest Kansas seeing sunnier skies today, cloud cover increasing with that boundary tomorrow. Could see a few sprinkles in the late afternoon and evening as that cold front arrives. Overnight lows into the 20s and feeling much more like November by the time we look towards the weekend. Keep it here. We'll be right back after the break.